All right. Arsenal has to do the Budapest job that is on Saturday. And guess what? Today, the squad of Arsenal has traveled to Budapest. And we obviously going to be showing you the slides of those players traveling to Budapest. Smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having pure fun wherever you are. And this is the channel that brings you your latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned. Champions League football, guys. It looks like it was a year, but we are left with just one day for the Champions League football to obviously happen. And where is it obviously going to be happening? It's going to be happening in Budapest. So Arteta has named his squad that has going to have to travel to the side of Budapest. And remember, Arteta himself has come out and told us that he has done all the work. And it's done and dusted. There is nothing they haven't gone ahead to do. They've gone ahead to do, or they've put in the work, and they're ready for the Budapest affair. And this is where I tell you that we are left with just few subscribers to hit 29,000 subscribers. So please go into the lower right bottom corner, smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this beautiful channel of ours. Now, as we start off, who are you seeing? Obviously, that is Christian Nogard, part of the squad named traveling to Budapest. Then the Brazilian duo, that is Gabriel Jesus and Gabriel Martinelli. Remember, Gabriel Jesus is amongst the few players at Arsenal who have gone ahead to play in what we call a Champions League final. And I think he went ahead to obviously play the Champions League final of 2021, and they never won. Chelsea beat them by 1-0 in there for you, and that Chelsea had keeper Alizi Baraga as their goalkeeper on the bench. Then you can talk about when he came in through at Arsenal, he has played the quarterfinal, he has played the semi-final, and he has gone ahead to play what we call the final right now that is going to be played over the weekend. So for Gabriel Jesus, why is he very instrumental into the success of Arsenal? I've already told you, when he came in through at Arsenal in 2022, when they signed him, he asked them, what is your intention as a club of Arsenal? They told him, we want to qualify for what we call the Champions League. Do you know what he told them? I don't play for clubs that compete for positions. I play for clubs that compete for trophies. And indeed, he changed the mindset of that club of Arsenal. And there you go. That is Arsenal coming hard at you, fighting for trophies in there for you. So he was with Gabriel Martinelli, meaning that they are always together and they enjoy themselves together. That is Mikel Merino. Guys, one of the players who is really a big game winner. If you know this guy and his characters, he is indeed a big game winner. And who am I talking about? I'm talking about a man known as Mikel Merino. Remember him in the semi-finals when they're playing against France in the Euros? Scored a big one, big goal scorer in there for you. And don't be surprised if Arsenal is to win the UEFA Champions League when the goal is going to be coming in through from Mikel Merino. And he had some minutes when Arsenal is playing against Crystal Palace. It has been really long since he last kicked a ball, but he came in through and did the required bit of him as a player. That is Mikel Merino for you. Big player and big signing in there for you. So that is Mikel Merino for you. Then we do have Miles Lewis Skelly, a player that has gone ahead to offer really huge presence into that squad of Arsenal. And if you are talking patience, I think he's the true definition of the word patience. Do you know why? 3/4 of the season, never was he considered to play into the starting 11. But yesterday, when he was with Sky Sports on a show that was hosted by Ian Wright, an Arsenal legend, and Gary Neville, an Arsenal legend, where the co-owner sorry, is he the chairman of Arsenal right now, Kroenke, came up and offered him an Arsenal jersey and told him that you have to put it on in there for you. He said that the manager kept playing him in the midfield. You understand? The manager kept playing Lewis Miles Kelly in the midfield. And that was an indicator that maybe Arteta is a wise person, because the I see ahead that he will need reinforcement in the midfield. And he said most of the training sessions that really happened, he was being played in the midfield. And that meant Arteta had understood the assignment and knew to it that maybe his midfield was really gonna really look thin at certain point X, and maybe this guy would come and complement it. And I think this came in through after the injury of Mikel Merino in there for you. And he knew that this boy from the academy, he was an all-round midfielder, though I've been playing him as a left back, so I'll need his services. And indeed, he really looked good in that midfield of Arsenal, and Miles Lewis Kelly was the man. We talk about Kai Havertz, Champions League winner, returning at the best time possible to obviously put in a very big shift in there as a player for Arsenal. Kai Havertz, he's a goal-scoring Champions League winner. When they beat Man City as Chelsea, Mason Mount released him just 1 foot from the center line, went ahead and obviously rounded the goalkeeper, who was Ederson by then, and he slotted that ball into the back of the net. And that is Kai Havertz for you in here onto our beautiful channel known as the Rokani Media Football in there for you. So Kai Havertz also was part of the traveling squad. Then we come up for the lads, that is Salmon, Ebelechi Eze, and Bukayo Saka. Salmon, I'm talking about this young lad. Why am I talking about Salmon? Salmon is one of those players that I think will mean a lot into the next season decision of a right back, because he's a right back. And I think the preseason will obviously be used as a yardstick to judge him as a player. I tell you, because if there is anything that is supposed to happen the right way, obviously it should be Arsenal making a decision on whether to obviously promote him into the first team to play as a right back. This season, we've seen him really have flashes in the games of Arsenal as a right back, but haven't obviously gonna hate to see him in any competitive game as a right back. So what does that mean? It means that the club of Arsenal has to come up and obviously put out a very good preseason, and after putting out a very good preseason, then we'll know who is who into this team in here. Then David Raya, the best goalkeeper in the world, I tell you. And if you want to know that he's the best goalkeeper in the world to be credited, go ahead and see him win the Champions League on Saturday. Obviously, he has done whatever a goalkeeper has to do to be called the best goalkeeper in the world. And he's left with just one step. And that one step is for him as a player to lift the Champions League. That is it. But whatever he has gone ahead to do, he is the best goalkeeper in the world. Now, Captain Odegaard. Many have come up and speak. So, Martin Odegaard has been very instrumental at Arsenal. His leadership skills have reflected what Arsenal hasn't gone ahead to achieve in the recent past. But I want to let you know that when you look at Odegaard and what he has gone ahead to obviously put out, he has been one of the best number 10s at Arsenal right now. And if he wins the Champions League, he goes down in history. He's going to be instrumental, very instrumental into what Arsenal is going to achieve. I tell you, he's going to be very instrumental into what Arsenal is going to do. Because when you look at a side like PSG, you'll need a 10 like him. That is it. Because that's a 10 that can unlock. He has the brain, you know. His brain can unlock any central defense in the world. And you saw it very well in those games that Arsenal went ahead to feature Martin Odegaard. He goes into putting those spaces, those line-breaking passes that I think everyone has given what we call evidence for. So that's all about a man known as Martin Odegaard, who is also part of the traveling squad to Budapest. Now, Noni Madueke, oh my God, a man who said, then they asked him, did you think Arsenal would win a trophy in his first season? Do you know what he said? Madueke said, yes, I knew. That's why I left what I had to achieve at Chelsea. Remember, I was supposed to play in the FA Club World Cup and came in here. And obviously, the trophies that he's up to now are those that teams really want to win, because the FIFA Club World Cup hasn't obviously gone ahead to gain that momentum. But I think come the second edition after 4 years, it will obviously speak volumes in there for you. But Noni Madueke, man who has also gone ahead to obviously do well. Now, the Swedish assassin Victor Gyökeres taking Sweden to the World Cup. Man looking very okay. And he has never played in the Champions League final. I think the best has gone is the second round or quarter final. Now he's into the final. And this is what makes it good. Coming in through and signing for a club like Arsenal in there for you. Then we go to Ebelechi Eze. Man, things are just cooking on well for him. I think for him, he's really enjoying, because Crystal Palace is still in the league. Palace are champions of the UEFA Conference League, not like Declan Rice, who is really nursing wounds of West Ham relegation. And the lad is obviously very okay. Now, star boy, Bukayo Saka. Guys, coming in at the perfect time, and we hope he finishes the job. That is it. And that's what we hope. Saka should really get the job done and dusted on Saturday. Very instrumental. If you watched that game, especially the second leg, where Arsenal were knocked out in Paris, Saka scored an equalizer before Arsenal conceded the second one, and he missed a sitter. He missed a seat. I think Carafiori went ahead, obviously, released him very well and missed a seater. Now, if he does what he has to do, Arsenal will chew PSG like a piece of cake. So that is it. Let's get to William Saliba. And this guy, he's no longer getting his flowers because people are used to what he does, you know? And that's why you see it that many are really hailing Gabriel Magalhaes. Big Gabi. But Big Gabi was nobody before Saliba came in through. And Saliba complimented him very well, because Big Gabi came in through in 2020. Saliba started playing 2 years later with him. But in those 2 seasons where he played without Saliba, he was a nobody in the Premier League. But Saliba comes in through, gives him confidence, and obviously they formed a Berlin Wall at Arsenal in there for you. Riccardo Carafiori, big player, important player for the club of Arsenal, and he's also part of the squad. And his invasions in the midfield, and I know he'll be in the starting 11 for the club of Arsenal. The gaffer himself, Mikel Arteta, obviously, man who is jeered and having fire burning in his belly to lift the trophy. He was also part of the squad. Hinkapie, this guy, I tell you, I've even had Barcelona are really trying to go ahead and convince this player to play for them. But I think he's ready to sign his contract at Arsenal. This man, this is the unsounded hero. Unsounding here at Arsenal is Leandro Trossard. This guy is exceptional. And it's on Saturday that you guys will get to know how exceptional Leandro Trossard is. Big player, obviously heading to Budapest. One of the most important players that you'll ever have at the club of Arsenal is none other than this guy who goes by the names of Leandro Trossard. Then we obviously head to Timber in there for you. Man ready to obviously do the needful. I think this is the most exciting photo of Arsenal fans because you guys have been asking. By the way, I've done like 3-4 stories for this guy, and I'm talking about Julian Timber. Why does this happen this way? It's all by God's grace, and showing that every team should go with every player and they shouldn't blame any other. You know, they should go in full chest and no excuse, because it's only Benny White that I think might not show up, but the rest of the players obviously going to be showing up in here. So that is obviously enough to see to it that the club of Arsenal goes ahead to really compete favorably. Even PSG, Hakimi and Ousmane Dembele are back. Big Gabi, big Gabi, big Gabi, big Gabi. You know, I just reminisce the song of Robbie of AFTV that Arsenal bag. He said, Gabi in attack. Sorry, Gabi in defense, Saka in attack. You know, it's really doing rounds and it's really making some good rounds. And his song is really hugely streamed as we speak right about now. You know, Arsenal are back is the most trending Arsenal song, I think, in the world right now. Not so? Let's check and see. Let's check and see how many streams does it have in here. And I just want to check whether it's there on Spotify. It has 358 streams in 5 days, right? Yeah, it has that in 5 fucking days. So you can go on YouTube and watch it. You can go on Spotify and stream it. Arsenal are back from Big Gabi. Sorry, Crucial Robbie. Therefore, that is his stage name. And Big Gabi, kudos man, one of those that has gone ahead to be instrumental into that Arsenal defense, and no doubt he is still that instrumental guy in there for you. Eze and Saka, obviously that ninth shot in there for you, between two shoulders in there for you. Then Ben White is part of the traveling squad, and we know to it that his season is over. You know, I don't know whether he'll be part, but we wait for the press conference tomorrow as Mikel Arteta narrates to us who is who into that. Then Mosquera and Declan Rice. Guys, I envy the sporting department of Arsenal for such decisions. Look at Mosquera. Mosquera. They got him below 15 million pounds from Valencia. You know, 21 years of age. He has been an instrumental or integral figure in the club of Arsenal this season. For whatever he's going to have to do, you can't downplay it. He's just a fantastic player. And I tell you, Mosquera to the final is walking there. And these are children. These are players that are obviously going to be enjoying Arsenal, because no sooner they came in through, they are winning the Premier League and they are playing the Champions League final. That is it. And that's why Arsenal will continue winning very many races of such calibers, because they will be like, you look at Mosquera, he came in through and won. What are you talking about? The Hincapiés, you know. Now, that is a no guard for you. You understand? So, I think we've come to the end of those photos of players traveling to Arsenal, traveling to Budapest to really represent Arsenal. Rokani David is my name. Hope you guys are really having pure fun. Call in for your reactions in the comment section below. React fully here, and I'm waiting for you, my people, because you guys are really the best of the best. And we aren't gonna stop. That is it. We aren't gonna stop. We aren't gonna stop. You understand? And we're here to obviously evidence what Arsenal will do. I'm gonna be here for as long as you guys are here. And this is it? Third, fourth video of the day. I cannot even count, but more is coming. Bye-bye.